The Simpsons is the most famous animated television series worldwide, which provides social and political critiques, parodies of pop culture, and commentary on the human condition. The series employs a distinctive animation style, with characters with yellow skin and a much simpler design than most cartoons. However, it's not only through humor and jokes about American society and culture that The Simpsons has gained millions of fans and widespread recognition worldwide, but also for something very intriguing. This show often depicts situations in many episodes that later happened in real life, leaving viewers impressed and even frightened by the similarities. This has led The Simpsons to gain a reputation for predicting the future. And is there any hidden power behind this program? To give you an idea, in 35 years on the air, The Simpsons have made dozens of supposed accurate predictions, including the results of the Super Bowl, the climax of the National Football League, for 4 consecutive years between 1992 and 1995. They also predicted a corruption scandal in FIFA, the governing body of world football, a scandal involving the irregular use of horse meat in food in Europe, the emergence of the coronavirus, the creation of what science has dubbed the God particle equation, the September 11th attack on the Twin Towers in New York City, and even the release of the 200 Brazilian real banknote in an episode where Homer and the family visit Brazil. And now, new prophecies that The Simpsons allegedly made for the world starting from 2024 have gone viral on the internet, with many of them already happening or about to happen. This is exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. First, I'll show you what the 7 main prophecies of The Simpsons for this year, 2024, are. Then I want to reflect with you, based on the Word of God, whether it's really possible for an animated series or someone to have the power to predict the future. And if there is truly any evil interference in this series, would Satan be capable of directing the creators of The Simpsons on what they should reveal in the episodes? But before we begin, I just ask that you subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell, because every day I want to bring you new content, always based on the Word of God. Alright, so let's start with the main prophecies that The Simpsons made, and the first one is Donald Trump, President of the United States. As you may know, Donald Trump was the President of the United States between the years 2017 and 2021, but he ended up losing the re-election to Joe Biden. However, at the end of 2024, new presidential elections will take place in the United States, and Trump appears in the polls as the leading favorite to win the race. And if you rely on The Simpsons' predictions, that's what will happen. In an episode aired in 2015 called Bart to the Future, there's a poster shown where you can see Trump 2024 written on it. As soon as the former president announced his candidacy, a professional who worked on the production of the series retrieved the image and shared it on social media, causing it to go viral worldwide. The second prediction, the dominance of artificial intelligence. This is a prediction that, by all indications, will be closer to materializing starting from this year. In the episode Them Robot from 2012, a bleak vision regarding artificial intelligence is shown, which at that time barely existed. In the story, all employees of the nuclear plant where Homer works are replaced by robots, and the Simpson family's patriarch is the only one left to take care of the machine workers. Because of this, the unemployment rate in the city of Springfield, where the series is set, reaches 99%. At the time of its release, the episode seemed absurd, but years later, it seems that things are becoming increasingly realistic. In 2024, artificial intelligence models like the GPT chat, for example, are already threatening numerous jobs worldwide. Some companies are already laying off editors and call center employees as they begin to use technology to reduce their costs with staff. The U.S. investment bank Goldman Sachs believes that starting from this year, more than 300 million job positions worldwide will begin to disappear because of these robots. The third prediction, the beginning of the colonization of Mars. The next prediction from The Simpsons on the list is from the episode The Musk Who Fell to Earth, first aired in 2011. In it, Lisa signs up for a Mars mission program in which she plans to fly to the Red Planet in 10 years to live there. In fact, The series suggests that the Simpsons will move to another planet in 2025, but we know that this prediction, at the moment, is unlikely to be fulfilled within the time frame they would like. However, we also know that billionaire Elon Musk has been investing a lot of money in SpaceX, his company focused on building space rockets, with one of the goals being to reach Mars on a manned mission. In fact, SpaceX is already working on this project this year, because Elon Musk plans to one day take ordinary people on a gigantic spaceship called the Starship for tourism to the Red Planet. The fourth prediction, Russia's desire to return to being the Soviet Union. We all know that Russia has been at war with Ukraine since 2022. However, according to The Simpsons in an episode that aired in the early 2000s, the Russians want more than just reclaiming Ukrainian territory. According to the series, their desire is to regain all of their past strength and reconquer other parts of the former Soviet Union, which was dissolved in the early 1990s into 14 countries. Could this mean that President Vladimir Putin, with all his hunger for power, could initiate attacks on other neighboring countries this year? And that's not all. There's an animation circulating on the internet created in 2010 depicting President Vladimir Putin as Mr. Burns, Homer Simpson's boss, and a kind of villain in the series, where he ends up becoming a sort of Egyptian pharaoh, showing that the Russian president would remain in power for the rest of his life, as was the case in ancient Egypt. Although this video was created in the style of The Simpsons, it was not made by the original series producers, but by a group of dissatisfied Russians with their government. What's noteworthy is that even so, it also has something prophetic, as Putin was already president, but did not yet have the power to be re-elected as many times as he wished, as is the case today. The fifth prediction, Ayur, solar storms. In an episode of the 24th season of The Simpsons titled Homer Goes to Prep School, the electronic devices in the town of Springfield are disabled and everything goes offline after a solar explosion causes a solar storm. Coincidence or not, one of the largest solar storms of all time is predicted for the year 2024, capable of causing what scientists have dubbed the Internet Apocalypse. That's right. According to NASA and other specialized astronomical institutions, this phenomenon could knock out the internet signal on Earth and cause a major blackout, disrupting our planet's communication systems. In fact, I made a video on my channel discussing this potential storm that could occur this year and the problems it could bring to humanity. Regardless of whether The Simpsons predicted this phenomenon or not, if the internet were to truly shut down, the consequences would be catastrophic for global connectivity. Many systems and infrastructures that rely on the internet would collapse, including power grids, transportation, weather forecasts, communications, social networks, and navigation programs like GPS. Chaos and panic could spread worldwide because no one is prepared to face such an apocalyptic scenario. And when I say no one, I'm not just referring to individuals, but also multinational corporations, ports, airports, police forces, military, governments, and more. And the worst part is, we wouldn't know if this outage would last for hours, days, weeks, months, or even years. The sixth prediction, the passage of a comet near Earth. In 1995, the episode Bart's Comet aired, where the character accidentally discovers that a comet is heading towards Earth and could destroy the city of Springfield. To prevent this, Professor Frink, the scientist in the series, suggests launching missiles towards the comet to destroy it before its collision with the planet. It so happens that a giant comet is predicted to pass very close to Earth in 2024, although it's formally named 12P/Ponsbrooks. It became better known as the Devil's Comet, due to its appearance resembling two horns made of ice and gases. Its size is 29 kilometers wide, which is 3 times the size of Mount Everest. But you don't need to worry because, according to NASA and other experts, this isn't the first time this comet has passed close to Earth, and there's no risk of it colliding with our planet, despite the supposed prediction from The Simpsons. The seventh prediction, the Third World War. In a very old episode from 1987, when The Simpsons didn't even have an exclusive show yet, Homer pretended to start the Third World War to play a prank on his family, waking everyone up in the middle of the night and leading them to a shelter in the basement of the house, like a kind of bunker where food and other provisions were stocked. Although it seemed like an innocent joke, it's interesting to observe how, over all these years, the probability of a large-scale armed conflict between nations has become increasingly real as the world faces serious diplomatic crises, with threats of launching chemical and nuclear weapons at any moment by military superpowers, putting entire populations at risk. Not surprisingly, many countries have invested heavily in building bunkers, underground shelters for their residents, with enough food to feed millions of people for several years. Faced with these supposed predictions from The Simpsons, I've heard many people claim that the creators of the series could have made a pact with the devil to have the gift of predicting the future and thus succeed with the animated show. But honestly, brothers and sisters, I don't believe in this theory for a few reasons. First, because The Simpsons doesn't need to predict the future to be successful. The series is loved worldwide because it's genuinely interesting. Millions of people in hundreds of countries love The Simpsons because it cleverly and humorously critiques society, not because it supposedly makes accurate predictions about the future. Second, because Satan is not capable of predicting the future, let alone offering this gift to anyone. In Jeremiah 29, chapter 11, God himself says, "For I know the plans I have for you." In other words, brothers and sisters, only God knows what will happen tomorrow. This is called omniscience. What Satan and his demons are very good at is making predictions about the future based on observation. These dark beings are, by their nature, extremely intelligent, and they can observe people and events very closely, giving them an idea of what may happen in the future. It's like someone looking at the sky, seeing some dark clouds moving in a certain direction, and saying, "It's going to rain tomorrow." But does this mean that The Simpsons writing team is full of people influenced or possessed by demons? No. They are very intelligent individuals who work hard to create a high-quality series. To give you an idea, many people who work on The Simpsons production team have scientific academic backgrounds with experience in scientific, political, sports, media, religious, and military fields, and they are always attentive to world events, which enables them to write situations that may happen 5 or 10 years in the future. However, according to the creators of the series themselves, their accuracy rate is very low. The issue is that people tend to focus only on what turns out to be correct and ignore the many other things that don't. I hope it's clear to you that these supposed predictions are nothing more than guesses that the Simpsons producers make to make the show more interesting and to grab the audience's attention. And this doesn't mean they have made a pact with the devil or that there's anything sinister behind it. So, you don't need to be afraid or anxious when you see a video on the internet about this topic. God has already determined the things that will happen in the year 2024, and it won't be a cartoon, a false prophet, or anyone else who will tell you that, but His Word. Therefore, my dear brother and sister, instead of wasting your time and peace with these things, cling to the Lord and entrust your life and heart to Him. Amen. If you enjoyed this video, share it with your friends, family, and subscribe to my channel. May God bless you powerfully, and I'll see you in the next video. A big hug.